Okay, good evening. So if you wanted to join the premium sales room, you're in the right spot. I'm Kelsey Nordyke. I'm the Kansas 4-H Ag Sciences Specialist working in the 4-H department. I actually work remotely. So I am available via email or cell phone, and my information is all available on the Kansas 4-H website. I'm happy to help provide support to you all and answer questions. We do have a couple of agents who are going to share from both the eastern half of the state and one from the western half as well, about how their premium sale process takes place within their county fair. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and ask Lacey Noterman to start us off. And Lacey, if you have got your Fair Board member with you and would like to introduce them as well, that would be great. And if you have questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat, or if you would rather hold them till the end, we can wait till the end as well. And you can ask those by unmuting at that time. And Lacey, you can take it away.
Okay, thank you, Kelsey. Well, unfortunately, my Fair Board member is also a nurse, and so she was called out and she is not able to attend tonight, but I'll try to knock it out of the park for both of us. It could be rough. So, like Kelsey said, my name is Lacey Noterman. I am an agent with the Wild West Extension District, and my home office is here in Haskell County. And so I think we have a pretty neat setup here in Haskell County, and so that is the county premium sale that I will be talking about this evening. In 2014, Haskell County had a big changeover with their Fair Board, and so we decided to develop a committee called the Haskell County Livestock Show and Sell Committee. And it's comprised of 2 representatives from the Haskell County Board and 2 from the Haskell County Extension Board and or 4-H program. It also includes a member from the community that isn't attached to the Fair Board or the Extension Board or 4-H, which that member is difficult to find. And then as an ag agent, I'm involved. However, I'm a non-voting member, and the FFA advisors in our area are also involved. However, they are not voting members either. So this committee runs our premium sale. So our minimum and maximum weights we do have for each species, and any animal that is weighing over that maximum limit may sell their animal in the sale, but they have to sell at that top weight. Any animal that weighs under the minimum weight is not able to sell. However, they can still show. So getting down to the sale, each exhibitor in Haskell County has the opportunity to sell 1 animal per species. And the animals that we actually walk through our livestock sale are market beef, market sheep, market goats, market hogs. We do sell bucket calves, and we sell market rabbits and market chickens. So they could potentially sell 7 animals. However, that's never happened. The most animals, I think in my 13 years that I've been here, have been 3. So along with that, any animal that walks through our livestock sale is not able to come back the next year. And so with the bucket calves, we follow the ear tags. And with the rabbits and chickens, we actually have them fill out an ID form that is due around the 1st of June. And this will include tattoo numbers as well as photos of their projects. So by selling an animal through the premium sale, our 4-Hers or FFAers realize that the buyer has the option to take that ownership of the animal, regardless of how they filled out their sale cards. So buyers wishing to purchase their animals do have the option to actually buy the animals. So technically, I don't know if it's a premium sale, but we do go ahead and get a floor price for those animals. Our floor prices are open until Wednesday, the Wednesday prior to our sale, which our sale is usually on Friday nights. And I usually kind of man that up for the Fair Board and the Livestock Show and Sell, or excuse me, the Livestock Show and Sell Committee. So the floor bid amount is given to the youth for the actual animal per pound basis. If the buyer chooses to take that animal home, they will pay the premium amount plus the floor amount, and then they can take that animal home. If the buyer chooses not to take the animal home, the premium amount, or the amount that the buyer bid, you would subtract the floor amount, and then that buyer would then pay that amount. That was really kind of rough. So if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. In preparation for the sale, each exhibitor, after showing their animal, must mark on a intent to sell card what they plan to sell. This also includes signing off on LQA practices as well. We create the sale bill, myself and the Livestock Show and Sell Committee. Fortunately, right now, my Fair Board representative that was supposed to be here tonight is also the treasurer to this committee. And so she comes in and helps me as well. So we actually sell, we sell each species. And we have them on a rotation. So this year we would sell our market beef first, our bucket calves, sheep, swine, goats, rabbits, and then chickens. And then each year we rotate. So next year we would start with sheep and the beef would move to the end. Our sale order is set up. We start with red ribbon animals, then blue, breed champion, or reserve breed champions, and then grand champion and reserve champion overall. Now we have moved around our champion overall animals from the beginning to the middle to the end. And unfortunately, we have not seen a difference in any of that movement. So we've just been placing them at the end the last couple of years. We hire an auctioneer for our premium sale, and we've lucked out the last couple of years because we actually have an auctioneer on our fair board, and so it works out real well. We have 3 to 4 men that actually take bids and help those kids walk their animals in and out of the sale ring. And we actually print off our sale bills for everyone to have at the sale. We also include a nice write-up of all the mathematical stuff that I just told you about on how if the buyer decides to take the animal home, harvest it themselves, or just pay the donation. And so it has an example on there. We include that on that as well. So after the sale, the buyers have the option to pay directly following the completion of the sale. If not, we send out I work with the Livestock Show and Sell Committee, and we send out invoices the next week. We usually try to get that done between Tuesday and Wednesday of the next week. And then the buyers will then pay the Livestock Show and Sell Committee, and then the Show and Sell Committee will pay the exhibitors outright. Floor money that comes in, like I said, I do find floor buyers for all the species, except for the rabbits and chickens. We sell those just on premium amounts. But for the other animals, I do find floor buyers for those animals. And as soon as that money comes in for those kids, the Livestock Show and Sell pays them outright right away. Well, that was quick and fast and furious, and I hope that shares our experience well. If not, please feel free to contact me. You can find my email or give me a call. So that's all I have, Kelsey.
Awesome. Thank you, Lacey. Next up, we have Matt Young from Brown County to share with us this evening. I'll let Matt introduce himself to you, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the premium sale in his county.
Okay. Matt Young, Brown County. Not sure why I was asked for this. We do nothing special or amazing in Brown County. Start off, I have a very low drama, low stress county fair. And I really do mean that. We don't have near the drama that a lot of counties have across the state. So I could tell a little bit about our premium sale and how we run things. My fair board member couldn't be with me tonight. She's an accountant. She runs her own accounting firm. And she's kind of in the middle of taxes right now, which is keeping her really busy. But she does come in very handy at sale time and getting everything taken care of there. So we are a premium only sale. We do not have floor bids for the animals. That was something that came about in 2020 when we were having trouble getting bids and finding lockers places for the animals to go. We decided to go premium only, and the families really liked it. They liked having the options to harvest their own animals or to sell them different avenues after the fair. So we stuck with that. We normally run right around 100 head through our premium sale. In our county, it's one animal per youth, not per species. So if you show every species, you have to pick one animal that you're going to sell in the premium sale. And like I said, with the no drama, we also have very few rules. There is no minimum or maximum weights to sell, no ribbon placing minimums to sell. If you can get the animal to the fair and show it, you can sell it in our county, which I know is different for a lot of counties across the state. So kind of running through the responsibilities of me and the fair board members. I collect intent to sell cards from the 4-H'ers so that I know which animal they want to sell. On that intent to sell card, they have to write, if it was any kind of champion or what the ribbon placing was on it, just so we can use that to make the sale order. About 75% of my kids actually turn them in. The other 25% I run down and actually find out what they want to sell. And then I make the flyer and order up. I have an email listserv that I send that sale order out to all the businesses and bankers in the community to try to help spread what our animals are going to be selling, and so that we can try to get the maximum amount for the kids. We also print them, and we have those there to be picked up at the auction. So the fair board, they use QuickBooks to run the premium sale. So everything gets entered into QuickBooks. So every buyer registers before the auction starts, and they put in all their address and all their information. And so then as they bid, it all gets put in, but like orders that they bought. So at the end of the night, for a lot of the bankers, we can print invoices right at the end of the auction. And the bankers really seem to enjoy that, to have an invoice to take back to get a check cut. But we do ask that people pay the night of the auction if possible. But realistically, it takes about 2 weeks to collect all the money after the fair. Also, along with that, the fair board collects that money. I try to stay hands off on the collecting of the money. The fair board does that. And we do allow businesses to put add-ons on the kids. So after the sale's over, most of the kids' premium almost doubles from the sale price they have at the premium sale to what they actually get from businesses coming in and adding money. So businesses normally come in and add, like, for all their customers' kids, they can add like a certain amount for each one. Or we have a couple, about 3 big businesses that just give me a check to split amongst all the kids that sell an animal. And so in that situation, we just split that. So once everything's collected, like I said, my treasurer, who's an accountant, she prints it all off, and she prints all the checks off and gets them all set up, ready to go. And then she gives them to me, and I mail them out to the kids, along with a sheet that has the addresses for all of the businesses that gave them money, so that they can write their thank yous. And one thing I would add too, if there is a kid that cannot find a place to go with their animal after the fair, we do have some people on call. We have some order buyers on call, and we also have some other families that, if there's a family that has not got a home for their animals after the fair, we make sure that they find a home and that they're well compensated for their animals. So like I said, nothing fancy or amazing about our sale, but it works out pretty well for the kids in our 4-H program, and it's pretty user friendly for everybody involved. So that's kind of what I had to share.
Okay, great. Thank you, Matt and Lacey. Do we have any questions? If you are welcome to unmute or post them in the chat. Either way, we'll give you a couple minutes to ask your questions. And we'll also give you the opportunity, if you have something unique in your county that you think works well, that others would find value in, we welcome those comments as well. we do have, I believe, about 15 minutes left before we go back into our regular session.
Hello, this is Leonard Bristow from Brooks County, and we do on our premium sale, we allow the exhibitors to sell 2 animals, and we do it by the averages. As far as the blue ribbon animals cannot bring more than the champion animals, and then the red ribbon animals cannot bring more than the average of the blues, and same with the white ribbons. We've not seen a lot of white ribbon animals in this last 7 or 8 years. I cannot remember any white ribbon. It seems like they're all just red or blues, and then the champions, of course. But I know there's some differences between the 2 counties that have talked. I believe Brown County, you didn't have any averages that they can bring whatever, no matter where they're placed at, they can bring whatever they bring at the sale. And then Haskell County, was that the same way with yours? You don't have a cap on average or anything like that?
Correct.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I know it's been talked about trying to do it other ways. It's going to stay the same in our county this year again, that we do have those maximums for the averages. I was just wanting to make sure how everybody else did it.
Yep, and that's a great question and a great point to clarify as well. And while we're doing the Fair Management Clinic in the spring, and it is realistically probably too late to implement a big change like that, I would encourage you, if this is something that interests you, to make sure that you kind of look at your system or your process during your fair this year, and then take the opportunity to discuss as a fair board or a livestock sale committee or with your agents, and look at those opportunities for sure for next year. Because sometimes these processes take a little while to work through and get implemented and figure out what works best in your local unit. Any other questions or comments?
Kelsey, this is Sandra Wick. I have a quick question. Both of you mentioned an intent to sell card. I don't know if there's a template somewhere. I mean, we just give them a 3x5 card or a 4x6 card, and they like write their activities and things that they had, so the auctioneer can have that information. What is this intent to sell card?
I'll start it off, I guess. Mine's a carryover from when we did have order buyers and bids for all the animals, where the kids would list which one they wanted to sell, with what tag number and the weight, ribbon placing. We also, one of the big things I like to put on there, because on our sale flyer, we put their parents' names. So we'll put like such and such kid, parents, or like my kid's name, Matt and Mindy Young, would be listed, just so the buyers know who the parents are. But sometimes parent situations change, and that's tricky to keep track of for everybody in your county. So it's nice to know exactly how the parents want their names listed with their kid. Because believe it or not, that does cause some issues at times, whether it's like in our example, Matt and Mindy, or it's Matt only kind of deal. So it's weird, but it is nice to have it. It's also good. So if somebody says I messed something up, I have that card with that information on it.
So ours is very similar as well. I have, it's more like a piece of paper. It's also signing off that they have not given the animal anything, it follows the LQA stuff. And then it just says, the breed, the weight, the placing, as well as their signature, and mom and dad's signature is on that also.
And I can speak to this a little bit from my former county as well, Sandra. In Kelly County, we required an intent to sell card on every market animal that showed. And so on that card was the 4-H member's name, their club, the animal, the species, and their tag number. And then because in Cowley County, they allow you to sell one through the premium sale. You can sell as many as you have on the base. Or you have the option of, we have several lockers that come the night of the sale to pick animals up if people have reserved locker spots, or you can take them home. And so we ask that our 4-Hers mark where they're going, if they're going through the sale, on the base, taking them home, or going to the locker. And then our superintendents use those cards to help assemble the sale order based on Cowley County has kind of an interesting way that they do their sale, and it's far too complicated to tell you guys tonight. But those intent to sell cards are something that we used when we had used the Bluestem Fair Management System, and then we carried that over in Cowley County to when we started using ShowWorks. And I'm certain that Becky Reed and Sarah LaGrone would be happy to share what that card looks like. Through ShowWorks, they're able to create just a report and print off a sticker, and there's a generic card, and we put the sticker on each card that has all the 4-H'er and the livestock information. So, but that's very helpful in assembling the sale order.
Okay, thanks.
Other questions? We've got just a little under 10 minutes, or even if there are others who would like to share their process.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm Jill from Ellis County. Do you guys have any requirements that you have your 4-Hers do in order to sell at the sale? For example, like they have to be YQCA certified. Like for our county, a few years ago, we started making them come to a mandatory sale livestock meeting to explain our expectations of them to sell and how to present their animals for the sale. They have to go contact buyers before the sale. Do any counties require that? And also, do you guys charge any intent to sell fees or keep a percentage of the sale fees to use for promotion for the sale?
In Haskell County, we do not currently charge the youth anything to participate in the sale. And that has been a huge topic lately, the last couple of years, because we also give our grand champion and reserve champion buyers gifts, as well as anybody that buys an animal at the fair. And we serve a brisket dinner prior to the fair, or prior to the sale as well. And so we have a lot of expenses coming in. However, the youth and the parents keep hosting fundraisers to pay for these things instead of taking money out of the kids' checks right now. We currently, the Livestock Show and Sale Committee in Haskell County does require the youth to attend YQCA training, and they must attend 1 over half their regular 4-H meetings in order to sell livestock at the fair. We are currently discussing, we have several new FFA members that have started participating in livestock. And so we're trying to find that balance between the 4-H and the FFA programs for if they need to have some sort of requirement as well to sell. Did I answer all those questions? I think I did.
Yeah, sorry, I had so many.
And in Brown County, we also do have a meal that we do serve at the sale too. And we send out 2 tickets to every previous buyer so they can eat for free. And everybody else, it's like $5-6 a plate. But other than that, that is our only cost for our fair. Our auctioneers are free. They donate their time to sell the animals. So we don't have any fees. So we don't charge the kids anything to sell their animals. And we don't have any requirements other than to be a 4-H member and to have the animal by May 1st. But other than that, other than the basic normal 4-H rules, we don't have anything extra to be able to sell at our fair.
Okay, great question. Any others? We've got about 5 minutes left, and I know that Lexi will kind of call us back to the main room. So if there is anything that you guys want to share, now's your time, and we will record and we'll make sure that we share these recordings. I would encourage you to, because you'll only get to 2 breakout sessions tonight, do take the opportunity to watch those other sessions. We will post those on the Kansas 4-H website. Those will be listed under events and activities, and then there's a fair link and there's a county fair resources link as well. If you've not been to that page, the 2020 sessions of this webinar are listed there. So you can for sure check out the things that we shared that year. And then that will also be where we'll share the fair books and examples of memorandums of understanding and things like that for everyone to have a look at as well.
The question, one question that came up as far as Brown County, you said that you allow those businesses to come in and do add-ons, and that can be after the sale or during the sale. How does that procedure work?
It can be before, during, or after.
Okay.
Like I said, I got a couple big businesses that just send us a certain amount that they just tell us to split amongst all the kids. Those come before the fair normally. At the end of the night of the auction, a lot of like bankers and stuff that came with like, say, $5,000 and they only spent 4,500 of it. They'll put the 500 and just say, give it to these kids that were low or whatever. And then afterwards, there's people that come in and just want to give to customers of their business, and we add those on. And we'd encourage them to do it as soon as possible. But like I said, realistically, about within the week to 2 weeks after the fair, we have it all collected.
Okay. Because we've allowed some add-ons, and normally, like you said, that we have some businesses that just give us an amount and we split that however they want to. We've never allowed it during the sale. I know there are several counties that do that, and it seems to work well. It probably just depends on how your sale is run and the auctioneer and everything else. But you said that about, in some cases, would double their premium. Is that correct?
Yeah. Depends on the year and it depends on the kid, but I mean, on average, we get quite a few add-ons. We're actually starting to wonder, will there be anybody left actually bidding at the auction with as many add-ons as we got going on now?
Right. And what's one concern that we would have if we make it to where people just donate money, will we have people attend the auction? And that's why we've not really pushed for it that hard. We would rather have the people attend the auction to see the kids and see the individuals. We think that's a good process, but that's why I was curious on how it worked. Thank you.
I would add with the add-ons too, we didn't push for them. That was just something that kind of developed over time. And first we found out about it, it was kind of happening and we didn't even know about it. It was just some people sending money directly to kids and stuff. And then they started asking if we could do it. And then it kind of just developed into what it is today. But we kind of, as a fair board and then as myself, it's just, sometimes it's better to know what's going on than to be in the dark about things. So it was just nice to know and kind of keep it all together.
Okay. One more quick question. Do your counties do the 1099s for the individuals for the premium auction?
We don't.
We don't either.
Okay. Is there a state rule for that, Kelsey? Can you tell me?
I need to look on that. I do not know that Kansas 4-H has anything, but I believe that there is a threshold. There's an amount set by the IRS, and I'll have to double check what that was because it has changed. There was a lot of discussion about that when I initially started as an agent in 2005, and then it kind of lost steam. However, I was alerted this last year by one of our Fair Board members who is an accountant that asked about that. So there is an amount, and it's not every animal that goes through the sale. It's if they receive a certain amount of premium. So I will follow up on that, and I will make sure to share that with everyone.
Okay, great. Because I think the limit would have been $600 previously. I don't know if that would still be the same, but maybe that's not true. But I would be very interested to know if what that could be.
Yeah, I believe you're correct on that amount. I believe it is 600. I would just want to double check that. And yeah, so I'll double check that and let you guys know. Patsy Maddie asks, what do you do when a business requests a 1099? Do you guys, have you had that experience, Lacey or Matt?
I haven't.
Okay. And Patsy, I can look up how to handle that process for you, and I can get back to you.